Hey guys, welcome to our craft show. This is the Lake County Fairgrounds. This is a 2-day craft fair event that we're going to today, and we just finally finished setting up, and we're not really sure what's going to happen because our placement might be either at the entrance of the building or the exit. We're not really sure what's going on right now, so we're gonna just take a look and see what we have down here, and come follow me. All right guys, so this is our setup right here. We're actually keeping it pretty simple. We didn't want to bring a ton of different products to sell. We're kind of just making a few different items here. We have about 5 different items that we're making, and we're actually offering some custom items to order, made to order, and then we're going to offer to ship it to the customer. So we have an order form for that. But let's just take a quick peek at what we have here. We're mostly selling advent calendars. We wanted to kind of focus more on that, along with a Santa cookie plate that I'll show you briefly. But we have an advent calendar right here, Acts of Kindness. Then over here we have our custom ornament tree, where we're just showcasing what we have to offer, and then we're gonna have an order form for people as well. And then over here we have our nativity advent calendars, and it comes with this nice gold star that you move from day to day. Again, the same Acts of Kindness calendar. We're kind of making everything, we have an awkward space. We're not up against the wall, we're kind of in the center of everything, so we had to improvise and make space all around us and showcase all of our products kind of almost in a 360-degree angle, which was not very practical, but we're working with it. And then over here we have our cookie tray, our Santa cookie tray that we're gonna offer to sell. We normally have this customized, but we're not going to offer customization on this product. And then we have a different advent calendar, a Christmas activity calendar that we're having right here. And again, just kind of the same products. We have our nativity on this side as well, and some more ornaments too, just so we could kind of have a whole view when people are walking all the way around. All right guys, it's gonna start any minute now, so we are going to sign off, but stick around and see what happens next. We're gonna cross our fingers, say some prayers, and hope that everything goes well. All right guys, so we are almost finished with the day today at this craft show, and we ended up being in the entrance, so it kind of worked out better that way because everybody stopped and looked at our booth first. They went around and then they ended at our booth, so it did work out. So far, our sales, they've been a little bit less than what we expected, but still worth coming, so we're happy about that. And what's also nice, all day today we've been getting sales on Etsy and our website as well. So having all those different avenues of income has really helped out. And we're gonna come back tomorrow here and finish it off for the weekend from 10 to 3 and see what else happens and see how many more sales we can get. I hope you're enjoying the video so far. Stay tuned for the end for the big reveal on how we did as far as sales go. And if you've ever done a craft show before, please comment below on if you've done one or how many you've done and how well they went for you. All right guys, we are wrapping up day number 2 here at our craft show. We have a couple hours left, so we're hoping to make a few more sales. And just like yesterday, you know, we haven't had as many sales as we would have hoped for, but we've had enough to make it worthwhile coming. So a lot less traffic today than yesterday with it snowing outside, so that doesn't really help our case. But again, everything is going well today, and next we're gonna talk about what worked for us and what didn't. All right guys, it's time for the big reveal, but first I want to just kind of recap on the weekend and talk a little bit about that. So looking back on it, this craft show wasn't the greatest craft show. It was a 2-day event. It was at our local Lake County Fairgrounds, and usually this venue is like the premier venue for craft shows and stuff like this. So we were really excited about it because we've been to one at this venue before and it went really well. But the promoter or the organizer just wasn't very good at promoting the event. So there was just really poor communication between the promoter and the vendors. We've even talked to a few other vendors and they weren't happy as well. And there just weren't a lot of people in attendance. I think there were like 1,000 people that came through, which isn't great. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's just not great. And there were only maybe like 50 vendors, which also isn't very good. So usually for a good craft show, there's at least like 100 vendors or so, give or take, and that's pretty good. And that's what we've usually had in the past. But for this one, it just wasn't great. So we took a few different items with us. So we are planning on only taking 4 different things. We had 3 different advent calendars and a Santa cookie platter. But last minute, my husband suggested taking a handful of custom ornaments and putting them on a little tree that we had, and then taking custom orders. So that was a really good addition, because that was like half of our orders that we had were the custom orders. So that worked out really well. We were really happy about that. Shout out to my husband for giving that idea. So that's something that worked for us. And the advent calendars, we didn't sell as many as we wanted to. So there were a lot of people interested. A lot of people kept saying how cute they were and they really liked them, but they just didn't have kids. These were kind of more for kids. They didn't have kids of age that would want to use them, or they were just too young or too old or whatever. So we were kind of disappointed with that. We didn't make as many sales as we hoped to, but overall it was worth going to with the sales that we did have, because we wouldn't have made those sales if we didn't go to this craft show. So overall, we weren't super happy with the organizer and the promotion of the event, but we were happy with the sales that we did have. So like I said before, this was a 2-day event. We were at a craft show for Saturday and Sunday all day long, and we were making sales, you know, throughout the day. But also a good point on this is that we were actually making sales on our Etsy shop and on our website all day long at the same time. So that was really nice. So our phones were, you know, dinging every time we got a sale online. So not only were we trying to sell in person, but we were also selling online at the same time. So having those 3 different avenues of sales was really, really nice. And like I said before, our sales at the craft show weren't as great as probably our online sales, because specifically with Etsy, people go on there to search for specific items. So they were searching for advent calendars that we were selling. So that was already an easier target for that audience. And it was harder in person to sell when people are coming through the craft show just looking for something. They aren't looking for something specific. They're just there to see what's there. So it is a little bit harder to do that. But so I would highly recommend, if you're just starting out, or if you haven't done sales yet, or you're thinking about it, I would highly recommend at least starting with a craft show, because it is super, super simple to do. Anyone can do a craft show. You don't have to have a registered business. You don't have to even take credit cards if you don't want to, even though taking credit cards is very simple with Square. We use Square for that, and it's very simple. But you don't even have to start with that. If you just want to keep it simple, I would recommend taking a handful of items with you. I wouldn't even recommend taking an abundance of items, because that can be overwhelming, not only for the audience, but for yourself as well. And you don't want to have a ton of inventory on hand just because it's a risk. But I would highly recommend taking a handful of items, even taking some custom items like we did with these ornaments. Take some custom stuff and have an order sheet and just charge people based off of that, and you can charge them shipping if you want. And like I said, you don't even have to have a website to do this. If you take custom orders, you can buy shipping labels for them to ship their products on UPS.com or the post office, and it's super easy. You don't have to have a registered business to do this. So highly recommend at least starting with a craft show, getting your feet wet and seeing what works and what doesn't. And then you could eventually move up to Etsy or a website. I would recommend starting with Etsy first, just because it's very easy to use and it's a marketplace that people go to purchase things. And then eventually going up to a website, you can do that as well. And even on Etsy, you don't have to have a registered business as well. You can run as an individual. So there's a lot of different options, but at least at the minimum, start with a craft show just to get your feet wet and then go from there. All right, finally, we are at the point of telling you what our sales were and how we did over the weekend. So I have my little notebook right here. So over the 2 days that we did the craft show, Saturday and Sunday, we made sales at the craft show, we made sales online on Etsy and on our website. So overall total sales that we made between all of those avenues was $1,827.12. So on Etsy was our highest, and it was $978.39. And then the second highest was the craft show, and that was $514.03. And then our third was our website, which was $334.70. So again, that's a total of $1,800, just over that. So that's actually really, really good for just 2 days. That's almost $2,000 in 2 days. That's really good. So having those 3 different avenues is really great and beneficial. But again, if you just want to start with a craft show, that's a perfect place to start, and then Etsy, and then a website. And we have a few different machines, laser machines. We have a Thunder Nova 35, we have a Glowforge Basic, and a Glowforge Aura. The machines we use the most are the Thunder and the Glowforge Basic for our business. The Aura, it really isn't made to use for business just because of mass production. It's better to use a Glowforge Plus or a Pro. They don't have the Basic anymore. But I highly recommend Glowforge. They're a great machine to start with. It's a great desktop size machine. Anyone can use it. It's very simple to use. Just like a craft show, anyone can do it. Anyone can use a Glowforge Plus or Pro machine. Very simple. The learning curve is not bad at all. So I highly recommend trying those out if you're interested in doing a laser business, a side hustle, anything like that. It's just a really great starter machine for laser business, and we've been using it for the last 3 years. Before we got our Thunder, we were only using our Glowforge Basic, and we had tons and tons and tons of orders we ran through that machine, and it has done really, really well for us and still has not had any issues. So again, I highly recommend that if you're interested in laser cutting. All right, everyone, that was the summary of our weekend. Now, I'm interested, if you were to go to a craft show, or if you have gone to craft shows during the winter season, holiday season, what kind of items would you want to bring, or what kind of items have you sold before, if you've done this before? I'm very interested to see what other people do with that. And if you are interested in getting a Glowforge for yourself, we do have a link in the description box below on where you can get up to $500 off on a machine. So feel free to use that if you're interested. And as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for following along, and we will see you guys in the next video.